So I'm going to show you one of these serious games, and we actually videoed it. This is an example of the schizophrenia serious game. So this is what you would see as you're scanning the QR code to start. You always start with the heartbeat, and part of that is so you can make sure your volume is working. Then there's always on these different therapeutic games, which schizophrenia is one of them. There's a welcome screen that explains this game, what your goal is, and we have gamified it with collecting stars. You meet your patient. Here, this is Patty Sampson. We always start with the learning objective, and for all the therapeutic communication scenarios, it's all about using therapeutic techniques. It gives a little bit of an intro about what type of patient you're going to be caring for. And then we're going to start here.
I just room Miss Patty R. Sampson in room 5. She's 41 years old, paranoid schizophrenic, who stopped taking her meds. Go check in on her and try to get her calmed down. Thanks.
So we start with an RN report.
Those people at the desk, they're always on the phone. They're talking about me, you know. They're out to get me. But I'm smart about it.
After each video, the student's going to get a multiple choice question. They have the option of replaying the video or determining what they think the best answer is. If they select the correct response, they get a little happy sound and stars. And then they'll see the rationale. So why is that answer the best answer? If they select an incorrect answer, which we'll demonstrate here shortly, first I'll show you the next video.
They told me about the spies. I know what to do. God tells me, no, can happen again. I think so. Tell me.
So following the video, they're going to get another multiple choice question. Oh, wrong answer. Try again. So now it's down to 3 potential responses. They'll be able to continue to choose until they get the correct answer, always followed by the rationale for why that's correct.
Can I just ask a clarifying question?
Sure.
So the intent of this is always on the iPad, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah, so students could start, you could have this in your LRC or with their own iPads at home, scan to start and be doing this at home.
Oh, wow.
We actually designed it to work as kind of like a card deck where you can actually even take this, if you go on the website, you can see that they're all designed as a card deck. You can give them all 10 of these scenarios at once if you want to do it in a certain course. And they can take these home and they can do these at home, or they can check out an iPad or whatever they have to do, but they should be able to do all 10 of these serious games from that card deck. And it actually can be something that you could have printed and sold in your bookstores as well if you wanted to.
Thank you.
And these are all designed for very novice level. So these are designed for very early first semester students. As you're reading through the answers, you'll start to see patterns of why is not the right answer, or giving advice is not the right answer. But as they see this over and over, because each scenario there's 4 patient videos and 4 questions, they'll start to see why the right answer is right.
Thanks.
See the cameras? They're there. Oh, I know you think they're not there, but they're there. They're watching me. It's not safe, I have to go. I have to go.
I want to mention something too as we're talking about this. You'll see that closed captioning is present for any video in any of the ARISE scenarios. You don't have to have it there, you can turn it off, but we left it on so that you can see that it's available for all students if they desire. So here's another question.
I think I get this one right again, so we don't have to hear the other ones.
More rationale.
And these are really designed to be very short exercises for the student. Shouldn't be something that takes them a real long time. It's something they can do very quickly. They can run through it. They could even repeat it later on. So if they do something and they decide that they didn't do as well as they wanted to, they can repeat it. And this whole process can take under 20 minutes if they really look at it and really think about it. So it's designed to be fairly short, and it should hold the student's attention fairly easy for that short time period.
I'm just going to play this last video.
It's not safe here. You should get out. Save yourself. I have to go. Can't stay. No, I can't stay.
tabulated in the background. What was their first try, what was their second try, and points are being tabulated based on their answers. So what we want to show you here at the end is once they get through the rationale again, we'll gamify applause. But the stars that you see that are highlighted, that's based on how many points they achieved with the correct answer that they chose the first time through. So depending on how they do, they'll get different feedback. So for this one, you did well, but we think you could do even better. Try your therapeutic communication again. And then it's time-stamped. We did this purposely to the second, so that as an instructor, you could have them take a screenshot to prove that they did that and email it to you or put it in a Dropbox or however you want them to prove that they've completed the test.
And all of the the pointing system is based off the 80-point scale. So anything under 80% is considered less adequate than anything above 80%. So we tried to use the same scales that we're kind of using in healthcare already anyways. The other thing I want to point out with the games as we go forward is, yes, they are designed for students to do independently. They're designed for them to, first level, beginning students. But you could easily, now that you know that these videos are out there, you could easily bring this into your classroom and maybe play a couple of these videos without doing the game. Skip over that part, play the videos, and you could totally use this before they go into, a behavioral health setting. Let's look at this. What cues do you see? You could totally work something else around this. It doesn't just have to be about this game if you really try to get creative with it.
We have a few of our mental health instructors, because this is one of the very first things that we did almost 2 years ago now. That scan to start, they might use that multiple choice question just to kind of engage the class, but then they break it down further and you can always replay the video and say, okay, what kind of nonverbals are you noticing? What symptoms of schizophrenia are you seeing? What is that called?
Yep.
And so they use that to build on class discussion.